Three, two, one, let's go. Hey everybody, this is Unshackled and I'm Shambhavi, your host. Uh, this video is me bringing a little bit of bad news to you. Is that like anything else in life? I talk about being authentic all the time, but you can't really be authentic. You can't do it once and be like, okay, man, I'm authentic now, which is unfortunately what I discovered. When I think my breakout moment was with my parents, where I stood up for myself and I said that I want a real relationship or nothing, which is what I stand by today. And that's my reference point. And anytime I need to take a decision, I need to talk to them, whatever it is, I always function from there because that's who I am. I do not want relationships where the other party is unwilling to be involved emotionally. And unfortunately, because they're my parents and I also feel a sense of responsibility towards them. So I cannot cut them out like I would have cut out some other stranger. So by the privilege of them being my parents, I have decided not to go no contact because I don't want to go. But I want to at the same time not pretend to be really close to them when I'm not. So that's the boundary that I maintain. I said it in one line and it can get complicated sometimes. But through the year, I realized, so I'll come back to practice. I went into a different trajectory for a second, but it's relevant, I promise. So my breakout with my parents happened like almost 2 years ago now. Like it started almost 2 years ago. And it went on for some time. Like it was brewing for years, but the last leg of it went on for like a few months. And when finally I decided, okay, I'm enough of this. I tried everything. I tried explicitly explaining this to them. If you do not understand the gravity, if you do not take me seriously, and they were not taking me seriously, this is what I'll do. And unfortunately for them, I followed through what I said I'll do. I think they have not seen anybody around, or they felt like I was bluffing. I was not, and I'm extremely proud about myself for that. It gave me a lot of courage. It gave me a lot of courage to follow through the same things in other relationships. But, by standing up to my parents at one time, I thought, oh my God, I made a breakthrough. And now I have a different person and yay. And it's partially true though. I did become a different person. Suddenly, standing up for myself was not as difficult as it was before. I did transform into a different person. But at the same time, I also realized that it's a practice. For daily practice, I just don't want that authenticity in one relationship. I want it in everything that I do. And even in that one relationship with my parents, I still talk to them time to time. And it cannot be like I stood up to them yesterday and today I'm talking to them the way I used to talk to them before. Now I have to be as truthful as I can in any given moment. And man, I realized, fuck, this is an uphill battle. And this is gonna be going on for life. The life thing I realized just recently, which is very silly because it's obvious, right? Till the time I'm alive, I will want to be authentic in any given moment. And to do that, I have to practice every time, every day, with everybody. And it can be very, very uncomfortable. It will get uncomfortable. Like a few months back, I got really lonely. And there were a couple of people I met, which in my loneliness, I kind of sought their company. And they're lovely people. But hanging out with them made me realize I'm here only because of my loneliness. There is nothing, I feel there's anything common between them and I. My instinct was telling me that I shouldn't be here. And for some time, I kind of overrid that instinct. But eventually, like few times later, few weeks, few months later, at the end of last year, I realized if what I'm saying to my parents, what I'm practicing with my parents, I cannot keep practicing it in isolation. I need to do that in every sector of my life, all day, every day, to live a life, to live a real life, to live a life that I can be proud of. I don't want to keep wondering if I should have done that or not. I want to do everything. And I want to do it with utmost sincerity. And not the sincerity, not the dedication or sincerity defined by the society, defined by me. And for that, unfortunately, I'll have to. And I say unfortunately because it's sometimes really, really inconvenient. I would love to hang out with these people. They're fun people. But I don't. Because even in my loneliness, I've decided that I cannot pretend. I don't want to pretend. I can pretend, but I don't want to pretend. And in those moments of loneliness, I wish I can really, go and do that. But I can't because it's a decision I've made. And it's a decision that needs consistency and practice. Just like going to the gym. If you're only driven by motivation, you'll reach nowhere. And I am extremely serious about this. I have decided. So I cannot go back to my word now, and as uncomfortable it is, I also suddenly feel so much more alive than I did in years because I'm not driven by fear anymore, I do feel that. I do feel heartbroken, scared, frightened. But I also look at life as game now a little bit, It's so much fun to be like, to say what I feel, It's such an adventure. And sometimes it will land me in trouble. I know I'm fully prepared for it. Like, I'm sure I don't know the depth of it. I'll know once it actually hits me. Like, it's a game. I wouldn't know unless it happens to me. Some of it has, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. It sounds a little bit of naivety. So I don't know why I'm trying to disclaimer it. I don't care. Anyway, the thing is, I'm just enjoying it. Like, even the loneliness part, because now I'm seeing it as just an emotion, just another emotion. So I'm able to kind of not be driven by it. And I'm able to observe like, oh yeah, man, I'm lonely today. Mm-hmm. And I'm also able to think of something else to do, something that is not me immediately jumping on, oh, I should do that because my ego is telling me to do that. It's a practice. And if you resonate with what I'm saying, if you resonate by living each moment with absolute truth and the truth that comes from you, right? Regardless of what that looks like, it will look chaotic to other people because somehow we have been made to believe that organized is good. And it is good, but what organized looks for you might not look the same thing for others. I truly believe the only common thing we all have is we are all inherently different. So if we are all inherently different, our processes cannot look the same. It will have different things, but the fundamentals are all the same. It's like all living beings have same fundamentals. It looks different for everybody, right? A tree is also alive. I'm also alive, right? But we are inherently so different. I'm so different from other human beings. I have a nose, 2 eyes, limbs, ears, hair, bone and everything. But no two people are same. Even twins, identical twins, are not exactly the same. So how can all our processes look the same? I believe that the only thing that truly guides us is our intuition. You can call it your intuition. I call it my soul. Whatever is your language. But that's what the real truth is. It will tell you what to do. And to be able to listen to that, you need to practice. Because the more you practice, the more you become aware of the other thing that is going on in your mind, your ego, the conditioning that you have accumulated over the years and how it affects your decision making. Once you understand those things, once you understand the nuances, you have a full picture of your own mind, your own soul. And then, because you're practicing daily, you're practicing regularly, you will be able to do that big leap, Because if I am not able to be myself in the small moments every day, all day, I am not going to have a movie like transformation where suddenly I'll change one day and I'll go on a protest or whatever it looks like. It's not going to happen. It does not work that way. You still might have one moment of eureka and still do that, but it's not sustainable. I believe, like everything else in life, for you to be real, Because for so many years, we have learned bit by bit all these conditionings, all these biases. To unlearn that, that's the practice I'm talking about, the unlearning process of it. Because who you are, you already are. It's nothing to learn. There's nothing to learn there. What needs to be done is to unlearn all these shit that we have picked up through the years, and that's what I'm talking about.